Hello, kiddos. Today is Tuesday, January 26th, and I want to introduce somebody very helpful. This is my son, Benny. Benny's going to help us with an experiment. So, in your distance learning bags, you have soap. I broke mine in half so I could do this experiment twice. Benny is going to take this soap, which is kind of disappearing on this plate because it's white on white. So there's soap on the microwave safe plate. Ben's going to go put it in the microwave and press start. And we're going to see what happens to the soap. While he's doing that, I'm going to tell you about another experiment we're doing. Why are we doing so many experiments? See this letter right here? That's letter Q. Q is for questions. Are we curious? Do we have questions? Yes, we do. So, we are going to talk about the scientific method. So, let me find that piece of paper really quickly. We have the scientific method. This is one that you have too. So, we have a question. I wonder, that is the first part of the scientific method. I wonder what has more liquid water in it. So, this is ice. It has to melt. So, this is our control. This is already melted. It's water, liquid water. This is frozen water from my freezer. It's an ice cubes. And lastly, this is what I gathered from outside because it just snowed, right? So I'm going to put the lid on this. The lid is going to prevent evaporation. And that's when water turns into vapor and it can evaporate and go out into the air. I think our soap experiment is ready. So it can be very hot. You need an adult to help you. As you heard from Benny, oh my goodness, that's our soap.
Turn your light to blue.
Wow! Why don't you go ahead and do it for me? So that's what happened with our soap. And right now, ooh, that's very bright. It's still hot. Okay, that's great. Leave it there. So, it's still pretty warm. But what you want to do is give it a little bit of time. It will cool down nicely. So you don't want to touch it yet because you don't want to burn your fingers. But when this is nice and cool, it gets crumbly, which is really strange. Oh, there's some more. Wow, that little half bar of soap made all of this. Amazing. So, Ben, would you mind taking that back over to the counter and not crumbling the soap on the floor? So, our question. This is our control. Do you think that this is going to be the one with the most liquid water? Do you think that this will be the one that ends up having the most liquid water? Or do you think that the jar full of snow will have the most liquid water once it all melts? What's your guess? What's your hypothesis? So, with the scientific method, we have a question. Which one will have the most? We have a hypothesis. I think it will be the snow. I think it will be the ice cubes. I think that the one that's already got liquid water in it will have the most. And then there's the experiment. So, this is the experiment right now. And we wait and find out which one will have the most. At the end, we have a conclusion. And at the end, we will have all three jars liquefied and we will know the answer, which one has the most. So we're gonna wait on that, and I have another joke for you. So Ben, I don't have another experiment for you to help me with. Thank you so much for that though. Okay, this one says, what do you call a sad berry? Well, what do people sometimes say when you're sad? Do they say, are you feeling blue? What kind of berry starts with blue? Blueberry, you got it. What do you call a sad berry? A blueberry. Good job. And since we're talking about B-L-U-E, let's do the song. B-L-U-E spells blue. B-L-U-E spells blue. Hi-ho, did you know B-L-U-E spells blue? The big sky is blue, the ocean is too. Hi-ho, did you know B-L-U-E spells blue? Good job. We'll do one more joke, and then we can do a riddle. These are all in your distance learning facts, so if you already got yours, you might already know the answer, huh? So, why was the strawberry sad? Why was the strawberry sad? Because it was in a jam. Ooh, what does that mean? Is jam, that's the kind of stuff that you can spread on your toast, right? Jam or jelly, and that's what strawberries sometimes get turned into. But also, another word for jam is you're in a hard situation. That can be a jam too. Let's see. Ooh, one last one because it's so funny. What are twins' favorite fruit? Pears. Because pear can mean two, and it can also mean a pear that grows on a tree. The pear is what color? The pear is yellow. All right. Let's see. Let's get this all fanned out. What does fan start with? Fan. It starts with an F. Good job, friends. Oh my goodness. This room smells so much like Ivory soap right now. And it was kind of fun because when it was all crumbly, some of it went into the bathtub, which was also kind of a fun way to use it. Huh, yeah. All right. Y-E-L-L-O-W spells yellow. Y-E-L-L-O-W spells yellow. Like the early morning sun when the day has just begun. Y-E-L-L-O-W spells yellow. Daffodils and baby ducks are yellow. Scrambled eggs and lemonade are yellow. I like the smiley face that's yellow. He is such a happy fellow. Y-E-L-L-O-W spells yellow. Good job. All right, we have not done our 2 times alphabet song. So the first time we do it slow, and we do the sign language for it, correct? And then the second time we go fast. Are you ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. That's our letter this week. Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Good job. Are you ready to go fast? Let's do it. On your marks. Get set, go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Good job. All right, let's do our next song, which are Days of the Week. 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 There's Sunday and there's Monday. There's Tuesday and there's Wednesday. There's Thursday and there's Friday. And then there's Saturday. Days of the week. Days of the week. Well done. Let's go take that one down. And we have been having some really neat weather, don't you think? Let's see. Did you guys get a little bit of this? Oh, I hope you got some snow out your window. I hope you get to go out and go play in it. I hope you can tell me all about your snow adventures when I get to see your faces on Thursday. So, when it snows, is it warm? It's cold. It has to freeze. So, it's got to be all the way down here at the bottom, 32 degrees to freeze. And today, the high, when it gets really warm, it's going to be that warm. That's still really cold. And then later on, it's going to be that cold. So, pretty much, it is going to stay cold all day, and that's okay, because we can bundle up and we can go outside and have an amazing time, or we can stay inside and be so cozy. So, and we're going to get more snow. It will be magic. Would you guys like to see what our ice cubes are doing? Yeah, they're not going away too quickly. Alright, what about, ooh, you can definitely see this is starting to melt, huh? Look at that. Alright, this is probably something we're going to have to finish on Marco Polo, or maybe in tomorrow's video you'll get to see it there, all finished. Alrighty, so that's what our weather is, and it's really fun. I don't know if you guys got to go out and paint in the snow, or maybe you'll get to do that later, but that would be a lot of fun. Okay, I have something called Zen shorts for you. And there's a panda bear, and he's wearing shorts. And it's written by John J. Muth, and I don't see anybody else's name. So, John J. Muth must have written it and illustrated it. All right, I can't wait to find out what this book's about. All right. Let me move you just a little bit. Michael, there's a bear outside, said Carl. Oh, what? Called Michael. A bear. He's really big, and he's in the backyard. What's he doing? Michael asked. He's sitting. He has an umbrella, said Carl. An umbrella? That's unusual to see a bear in your backyard with an umbrella. Let's find out more. By the time the boys got outside, their sister Addie was already talking with him. I'm sorry for arriving unannounced, said the bear. The wind carried my umbrella all the way from my backyard to your backyard. I thought I would retrieve it before it became a nuisance. He spoke with a slight panda accent. What's a panda accent sound like? I wonder. Michael introduced himself. Wow! Michael's a brave boy. He introduced himself. How nice. And then Addie introduced Carl because Carl was shy around bears that he didn't know. And this is how Addie, Michael, and Carl met Stillwater. The bear's name is Stillwater. The next day, Addie went to have tea with Stillwater. And this must be Addie, Carl, and Michael's house, one of these down here. And she's going up the hill to have tea with Stillwater. "Hello," Addie said as she stepped inside. Come in," a faraway voice called. Then she heard the voice say, "Oh, yes, come out, come out." Stillwater was in the backyard. Oh, look at Stillwater. Wow, he was in a tent. "This is a birthday present from my Uncle Rye," Stillwater said. "He always gives presents on his birthday to celebrate the day that he was born. I like it so much that I'm not staying in my house right now." Stillwater invited Addie to sit with him. "You brought me some cake," said Stillwater. "That was very nice of you. Is it your birthday?" he asked. "No," said Addie. "It's not mine either," said Stillwater, "but let me give you a gift for my uncle's birthday. I will tell you a story." Uncle Rye and the Moon. My Uncle Rye lived alone in a small house up in the hills. He didn't own many things. He lived a simple life. One evening he discovered he had a visitor. A robber had broken into the house and was rummaging through my uncle's few belongings. Look, it's a raccoon. The robber didn't notice Uncle Rye, and when my uncle said hello, the robber was so startled he almost fell down. My uncle smiled at the robber and shook his hand. "Welcome, welcome. How nice of you to visit." And the robber opened his mouth to speak, but he couldn't think of anything to say. And because Rye never lets anyone leave empty-handed, he looked around the tiny hut for a gift for the robber, but there was nothing to give. The robber began to back towards the door. He wanted to leave. At last, Uncle Rye knew what to do. He took off his only robe, which was old and tattered. "Here," he said, "please take this." The robber thought my uncle was crazy. He took the robe, dashed out the door, and escaped into the night. And my uncle sat and looked at the moon, its silvery light spilling over the mountains, making all things quietly beautiful. "Poor man," lamented my uncle. "All I had to give him was my tattered robe. If only I could have given him this wonderful moon." What a lovely idea. "Your uncle sounds nice," said Addie. "I don't think I could have given away my only robe." "I know how that is," says Stillwater, "but there's always the moon." "That was a good story," said Addie. "Thank you," said Stillwater, "and this is good cake." "Thank you," said Addie. "I made it myself." The next day, Michael went to see Stillwater. "Here I am," Stillwater called from the tree. "Can I come up?" asked Michael. "If you're careful," said Stillwater. Ooh, Stillwater has a paper airplane in his hand. "What if we could fly?" said Michael. "We could cast shadows on clouds," said Stillwater. "But what if we fell?" said Michael. "If we fell, we might break something," said Stillwater. "That would be bad," said Michael. "Maybe," said Stillwater. "Maybe?" asked Michael. Oh, there's another story coming. The Farmer's Luck. There was once an old farmer who had worked his crops for many years, and one day his horse ran away. Upon hearing the news, his neighbors came to visit. "Oh, such bad luck," they said sympathetically. "Maybe," the farmer replied. The next morning the horse returned, bringing with it 2 other wild horses. "Such good luck!" the neighbors exclaimed. "Maybe," replied the father. The following day his son tried to ride one of the untamed horses and was thrown off and broke his leg. Again, the neighbors came to offer their sympathy on his misfortune. "Such bad luck," they said. "Maybe," answered the farmer. The day after that, military officials came to the village to draft young men into the army to fight in a war. And seeing that the son's leg was broken, they passed him by. "Such good luck!" cried the neighbors. "Maybe," said the father. "I get it," said Michael. "Maybe good luck and bad luck are all mixed up, and you just never know what will happen next." "Yes," Stillwater agreed. "You just never know." The day after that, Carl went to visit Stillwater. "Michael said I could bring over our stuff to go swimming. I'm mad at Michael. He always tells me what to do, so I brought everything." Said Stillwater. "It's a little pool. I don't know if all those things will fit." "Well, let's see," Carl said. "Yes, let's see," said Stillwater. Stillwater looked at the pool. "The things can go swimming, but we can't," he said. "I brought too much stuff," said Carl. "That's okay," said Stillwater. "I'll help you carry it home later." Oh, look at Carl. He's got his arms crossed. He looks kind of upset. I wonder what story Stillwater will tell him to make him feel better. "Why does Michael always have to tell me what to do?" said Carl. "If he were here, I would climb up really high, and I would jump on him like this, and I'd do a big smash like this." Later, Carl and Stillwater had tea. "Carl," said Stillwater, "you spent the whole day being angry with Michael. Did you notice how much fun we had?" And Carl watched the steam rise from his mug. "I'm sorry I brought all this stuff," Carl said. "You don't need to be sorry," said Stillwater. "Right now, you need to carry. Hold on tight, and I will tell you a story." Oh, look at that. They're going down the hill in the wagon. Ooh. Be a little bit scary. A heavy load. 2 traveling monks reached a town where there was a young woman waiting to step out of her sedan chair. Do you see these 2 that are carrying her? This is a sedan chair that gets carried. The rains had made deep puddles, and she couldn't step across without spoiling her silken robes. She stood there looking very cross and impatient. She was scolding her attendants, that's these 2. They had nowhere to place the packages they held for her, so they couldn't help her across the puddle. The younger monk noticed the woman, but he said nothing, and he walked by. The older monk quickly picked her up, put her on his back, transported her across the water, and put her down on the other side. She didn't thank the older monk. She just shoved him out of the way and departed. Oh, was that very nice? No, it wasn't. What's the monk gonna do? As they continued on their way, the young monk was brooding and preoccupied, and after several hours, unable to hold his silence, he spoke out. "That woman back there was very selfish and rude, but you picked her up on your back and you carried her, and she didn't even say thank you." And that younger monk is very upset. And the older monk says, "I set the woman down hours ago. Why are you still carrying her?" Because he'd been thinking about her and being upset the whole time, huh? "Do you think you have carried it long enough?" asked Stillwater. "Yes," said Carl. "Good," said Stillwater. And this is how Addie, Michael, Carl, and Stillwater became friends. Would you like to have a neighbor like Stillwater? I believe I would. All right, last check-in. This is our, not our base. This is our control. These are our ice cubes. Okay? Now hold in your mind, are you going to vote for the control having more water, the ice cubes having more water, or the snow having more water? Which one will have the most? Okay, bye friends.